Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at CQT. A particular viewer of the channel has been asking for an update, and you ask, you shall receive, my friend. So I'm not a financial advisor by any means. Nothing I say should be considered as financial advice. So moving into CQT on the weekly chart, we are on TradingView. So you can see that we had this multi-month support trend line, and we're starting to lose it. Now, last video, I did give you a TA update as well, and it's going to be in the top right-hand corner of your video. Make sure to check it out before watching this one if you haven't seen that update, because it's going to have some information that I'm not going to be repeating in this video. So make sure you check it out. Now, we do have a Fibonacci retracement set up from the swing high in August to the swing low in September. And as you can see, we do have our golden ratio over here. As you can see, that is our golden ratio. And look at the wicks and look at the rejection from that area. So we have one rejection, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now the sixth one we had just a couple of days ago. So what is the golden ratio? This is the level with the most heavy resistance, you could say, right? So this is the most important fib level out of all. This is the golden ratio of Leonardo Fibonacci, who has graced us with his formulas that work till this day in charting. So we have to be thankful to that guy. But you can see that we're bouncing off this golden ratio, and thus we're losing this support because we got rejected pretty hard, and the sellers are look at the selling power. Look at this huge wick on the weekly chart. So we still have 2 full trading days ahead of us before we close this weekly chart, and I would like to see this weekly candle closed above this multi-month support trend line, because it can end up being just a wick to the downside below the support, and we can close the candle above. That would be very bullish. I would like it to close above $1.30. Let's hope that's going to be possible. Now, if that doesn't happen, we are looking at a possibility of coming back down and retesting the 0.236 on the Fibonacci retracement. That is $1.02. So make sure to have that buy order ready, guys. We may get a wick to that side, and a quick wick, and then continue moving. Because if we start losing this support, right, and we get rejected, and that would mean that you're coming back down in a downtrend, and you're going to keep getting rejected from these areas and from this resistance area, right? And it's going to keep on pushing you down. You don't want to see that. The brush is acting all look at that. What's wrong with the brush? What is wrong with the brush? I don't understand what's going on with it. All right. So yeah, there's your support, 0.236 on the fib. Looking long term, if we break this previous swing high at $2.13, you're looking at $3.89, and I've covered that in the previous video. You do have a resistance level over here where the 1.414 and the 1.272 meet in this yellow rectangle. So that's your nice taking profit zone. Now, if we jump into the weekly RSI, it's looking a bit better than the price action, believe it or not. So actually, yeah, I switched to the daily chart. The weekly chart literally has no data for the RSI. So as you can see right now, what's happening on the RSI is we have these 3 rejections from this pink trend line, this pink resistance line above us, right? And we came back down to this green support line. You see that we're bouncing off of it, and we came nicely to bounce off of this level that I gave you, right? I gave you this yellow rectangle zone last video, and that was, I think, 46 something. Yeah, 46 on the RSI. That can be potentially your bottom. Now, if we start coming back down into the rectangle a bit, you could start bouncing off the green support line as well. You can come into this crossroads with this larger green support line that we have over here below us, right? And you can just do something like this. Come down, bounce off of it, bounce off the crossroads, and that's where you come up. You tighten up in here and you break out, right? Why do you tighten up? Because this resistance level is going to continue pushing you down, right? Don't forget about that resistance level. So what's going to happen is you bounce up, consolidate, break out towards December. There you go. That's your overextension, and you take profits pretty much when you're overbought, when you're around 85, 87. You're considered overbought when you're above the index of 70 on the RSI, right? So if you get to 90, then that's extreme greed territory, my friends. So look for the RSI to hold support. Obviously, if we have a deeper correction with Bitcoin, I would suggest you look at the lower pink support line. This is a multi-month trend line as well, and we've been holding it as support very nicely. So potentially, if we lose these green support lines, you may come back into the pink one as well and bounce off of that, and that's where we start the move towards the upside. So a lot of potential plays, but the RSI is looking very bullish. It's looking better than the price action, to be honest with you. So that potentially can be your kind of precursor. But if you look on the daily chart, we've actually had a bounce off this resistance, which is now turned into resistance. We can officially say that this green trend line, because you had a bounce off of it. We'll see. Maybe till the day closes, we can get above it, right? That would be very good. But what is good actually right now is that you can see that the EMAs are very close together, right? And that is good because we may get an EMA squeeze, and that is acting sort of as a bullish cross, right? Because the 20 EMA slings off of the 55 EMA and the price pretty much surges. But right now, what we don't want to do is we don't want to get below the 55 EMA, because that would push us down. And like I said, the 0.236 would be your best friend, your best supporter, right? Also, what you do not want to think that is not going to happen is, look at this. We've been in this bull flag, right? This is a bull flag. Right now, we are in a target towards, actually, let me get that target for you. I did have a target in the last video, but I don't remember where that target is exactly. So from here to there, right? Oh my God, I hate when that happens. You take the breakout point. The breakout target is pretty much in between the 1.414 and the 1.272, right? So we're still in that technical target, but what we haven't done is we haven't retested this resistance as support on the daily chart. So potentially what you've done, you've broken out, right? You're coming back for support, moving to the next leg up, right? That is still possible. Not saying it's going to happen, but just make sure you have some buy levels and buy orders ready in this zone over here, because you potentially can have some wicks in there and you come back down. You can even form a double bottom over here. That would be a nice double bottom pattern with a neckline there. You break up and you pretty much have some targets to the previous highs, right? Let me just, a hypothetical over here. If that is your neckline, that would be your bottom, right? Yeah, pretty much above the swing high would be your target from the double bottom pattern. But I don't want to see the double bottom pattern play out, because it would mean that we'd have to come all the way down to 81 cents, and that's not very good, right? So let's jump into the 4-hourly chart as well. Actually, before doing that, we are on KuCoin, by the way. I did set up this fib on the daily chart on KuCoin from this swing high on October 7th to this swing low September 26th. So we have our fibs to the downside because we're expecting a downtrend potentially, right? And what you can see happened over here, if you zoom in, is we had this bounce, right? We had this bounce over here. And where is this bounce, coming from? What caused the bounce? The golden ratio. You can see that the golden ratio is over here on the way down. You had a bounce, so potentially this could be it, right? Potentially, this could have been the bounce that you were looking for. But if we get another pullback, you can potentially look for the 0.618 to hold as support. That is $1.09.5, okay? Below that, we do have the 0.786 at 97 cents, right? So, these are your levels to the downside, and obviously the swing low over here, you can target that if we have a stronger pullback. Now, jumping into the Stochastic Rsi, this is a good place to start getting into the project dollar cost averaging straight off the bat. You can see that the stochastic is moving towards the oversold, and this is a very good area to start dollar cost averaging into CQT. If we take a look at the MACD, we are in a bearish cross. So downtrend confirmed by the MACD. And if we just jump into the 4-hourly chart, now jumping into the 4-hourly chart, the Stochastic Rsi is pretty much in the bottom, in the floor as well. Here, we got very overextended, and I do always say that if you see yourself getting very, very overbought very quickly, then potentially you're going to have a pretty significant drop-off, and, you know, this is what happened over here. So you could have taken profits over here on the RSI when you saw yourself getting to the index of 80 on the RSI, and you could have bought back in lower pretty much. So as soon as I uploaded actually that video the next day, we did manage to bounce off the trend line and have a nice move, which I was proud of, but we ended up coming back down because, you know, Bitcoin is sort of dragging down some of the alts. Some of the alts are not going with Bitcoin right now. It's a bit weird, but I think the markets are going to recover, and we're going to have a great end year here, guys. Some altcoins are already pretty overextended, in my opinion, but CQT overall, start dollar cost averaging, you know, if you see yourself come back down to the golden ratio a couple more times, nice area to buy more. If you even go lower, even better, you can buy more tokens with less money. So that's pretty much it, guys. I will be starting a Patreon very soon. Very excited about that. I'm gonna be bringing a lot more exclusive content to the patrons, obviously, so I'm looking forward to that. Make sure to check out the Discord server and the Telegram chat. A lot of news, low cap gems, and technical analysis from the followers of this channel in those chats as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Check out the 2 videos on your screen right now. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.